Welcome back to the Howepodcast 101. I am Jake Roberts, joined alongside
Lucas Mitchell, and we're also joined alongside our engineer
Noah Riley.
and dimensional analysis.
Dimensional analysis.
Is that what we?
No, I forgot
was-
what it was.
It
It was
was
something analysis.
baseball insider.
Analyzer.
He's our baseball insider.
Wasn't it like football
Yeah.
analyzer?
He's our
What
How
was
baseball insider. Actually, speaking of that, we will be joined by Cowboys insider Malin Walker.
Cowboys.
Coming up next segment. Yeah, so he's going to be joining us on the how101.com hotline, so stick around for that.
And also, thanks for our sponsors, Hannah's Cafe and Market, Don Smokehouse, and the FBC House Studios.
Pretty good studios.
for the great studios.
Hey, Noah, show them that
Show them the
say hi to
jersey.
the camera and then show them the jersey.
You can put your glasses on if you want.
No.
See,
How
it's
jersey.
it's hung up, but it's a little wonky.
A little bit wonky.
a bit wonky.
Okay.
And I don't know. We're trying to fix it, and we're trying to get like pins and
Yeah,
pin it to the wall.
we'll
but it's
figure
not
it out.
really
We're
too well.
working on the FBC House Studios, trying to get it pretty
Good.
pro gamer.
Yeah.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you don't
On the video.
miss an upcoming video, because we have actually later this week. I think we'll talk. I'll use this as my one more thing, but we are gonna film a really good short film. And some stuff like, what did you just? Okay.
Your mic is broken off.
Oh, it's fine. It's just duct tape. Don't worry about it.
That's why I said it was dangerous when you showed us.
It's not that dangerous. I mean,
It's gonna hit us on the head. when
Okay,
we
we'll
film later.
explain later. Okay, so
Go to our
Uh,
website.
how101.com. Very cracked website.
You can find our merch.
Oh, are we doing
Do
that?
we not have that anymore? I don't think
No,
we do have
we
that
do.
anymore.
It's over there. We have our merch.
Merch.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna say they give us your money part, but I already did. Wow, that was very
Makes
funny.
sense.
But there is a donate button if you would like to donate to us.
We would appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. Right now, we do need the money.
We are
Pretty dang bad. Not for ourselves, but for the podcast. We want to improve. We want to get decorations. We've got big plans in the
all donations go to improving the podcast.
Yeah.
We don't take any of that money at all.
If you want to see more of this, then
So
100%.
yes, yeah,
Please. It would help us.
Yes.
If you can't donate, make sure you don't donate. If you can't. Okay?
But like, if you could,
if you could, you
that would
should totally do
It would
that.
be fantastic. So, I think that's going to do it for the intro segment. Coming up next, it's time for a little Sports Center. We got How Sports, and the Dallas Cowboys made a few movements this week that I'm not particularly excited about.
And did we talk about the Broncos?
We'll do it right after this.
Don's Smokehouse is one of the best butcher shops in Texas, but it's not just a butcher shop. It's home of the best beef jerky around and the famous Great Wall of Jerky, where you will find 17 different kinds of jerky, including bear, buffalo, elk, venison, turkey, and of course, beef and more. We are open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 6. Don's Smokehouse is located in downtown Howe at 111 East Hanning Street. Come on down for a free sample and experience the Great Wall of Jerky. Don's Smokehouse, the best jerky around.
If you are craving some fried rice, egg rolls, boba tea, beef teriyaki, or my favorite, sesame chicken, then Hannah's Cafe and Market is for you. It's the newest restaurant in town, and for all you Bulldogs, there is a 10% student discount for a limited time. Hannah's Cafe and Market is located at 105 South Denny Street in Howe, just north of the First Baptist Church. You can find them on Facebook or call at 903-532-0529. Hannah's Cafe and Market. Go Dogs!
Welcome back to the How Podcast 101. I am Jake Roberts, joined alongside
Lucas Mitchell. Oh, wait.
No, there you go.
On. Oh.
Any minute.
Okay.
There you go. We have terrible XLR.
Lucas
coverage.
Mitchell,
Yep.
and we're joined by our engineer.
Noah Riley.
And we also have our special guest
On where? Where is
On
it?
Malin
Malin Walker.
on How 101 Hotline.
There you go. There it is. Okay. So, what does it feel like to be a Cowboys insider, Malin?
Right now it doesn't feel too hot, to be honest.
I completely agree with you on that. It's not a good time to be a Cowboys fan. This has been one of the worst weeks I've ever been a part of. It's extremely unfortunate. But some moves were made, and we're going to discuss them like anyone else would. So,
first, let's get into what is like the trades that you have least liked and most liked.
Okay, so Amari Cooper was traded to the Cleveland Browns for a 5th-round pick, and this was
and they swapped their 6th.
Why was theirs better?
Slightly, yes.
Okay,
Real quick,
yeah.
I have a theory, superstition.
Okay.
I think Amari Cooper's going to suck this next year and the year after that because Des Bryant got traded to the Browns as well.
Yeah, but
the Browns were bad back
Browns
then.
aren't as bad anymore.
But that's just a superstition because Cowboys tend to trade all their receivers to the Browns. Don't know why.
well, I think
And
they're
also,
best
if you
receivers.
look at Amari Cooper's age, he's 29 already.
Yeah.
He's getting kind of up there in age, so he could lose a step next year. I don't think that. Me personally, as a Cowboys fan, I might be a little biased. I don't think he will. I think this is just purely a cap issue. I don't think this is a regression issue at all. But
I'm
there is a
wondering.
possibility.
I'm wondering. Jerry Jones has said some things that make me a little bit skeptical, but Amari Cooper was unvaccinated, and that caused a little bit of a rift because he had to miss a game. And I'm not sure Jerry Jones' stance. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's why, but I'm wondering if that played a factor into it.
And it very well may have, but from what I've seen and heard, it looks purely just like a cap issue. $22 million in cap?
Yeah, next year he would make $22 million. So, we're gonna fix that. Hopefully. Okay, so I hope they're not tanking for a better pick next year. But
I really don't think they would. I think what they would do is just like trade maybe like someone like Zeke to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. I think Zeke's contract will be up in 2 years, and I know they're not going to re-sign him, and if they do, it will be for dirt money, and he'll probably want to go somewhere else and make some money.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Amari Cooper trade, I'm not sure what that's going to do for the Cowboys. I mean, I think it'd be better Go ahead.
I think they have Jerry Jones has a lot of confidence in CeeDee Lamb and even Cedric Wilson now that they're able to be more confident in this decision. And
yeah, I agree. And Michael Gallup will be coming back. But you never know.
Yeah.
He had an ACL tear, right? I believe he had an ACL tear.
He did. Okay. So we don't know if he's going to be the same Michael Gallup that we've seen.
But you have Dalton Schultz, you have Cedric Wilson, you have Michael Gallup, who we know can stretch the field and make big catches, and you have CeeDee Lamb. So you still have weapons for Dak. But the thing is, can Dak utilize the weapons going forward?
He's shown time and time again that he's been able to. He's used Cedric Wilson to an unbelievable extent
To me,
so far that no one else has seen.
There were times when I was more confident with Cedric Wilson on the field than Michael Gallup when he was out. I think Cedric Wilson has the potential, and he was a 5th-round pick, and I think he has the potential to do some damage in the NFL. He was really good last year.
Yeah, we'll see if this breakout season continues or if it's just a fluke from...
Yeah, rookie fluke. But, I mean, he does have some hands, and I don't know. We'll see if teams catch on to that. On another note, La'el Collins is doing something, right?
Yeah, he's seeking a trade, well, allegedly.
Okay, so does this free up cap space? Is this another?
Yes, La'el Collins takes around 10 million.
I believe, 10 to 12 million, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And that is a huge, huge cap space issue for the Cowboys, and I know they're having a bit of a crisis, and they shouldn't have paid Zeke as much as they did, and I'm glad they restructured Dak because that gave them $10 million in cap space. Better.
Yes. Yeah, that's the whole La'el Collins.
At this point, I think next year the Cowboys are going to be worse than they were this year.
I do think that last year was the year.
I agree. And they lost in the first round of playoffs to the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know. They did it in typical Cowboys fashion. Close.
Yeah.
And then they screwed up at the end. And it's usually how that works. So, Lucas, what are we moving on to next?
I have a question because I am inexperienced, but I really do. I was wondering this earlier. Really quick trivia. What is the least known or least significant trade in the NFL that you guys know?
That's ever happened?
No, not just right now.
Like right now? Probably. That's a good question.
Is there someone in the wait, no, that's basketball. I knew that.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who's the weird name teams?
Well, I don't know.
Knows.
Well, who is the
They're all
weird
normal
name?
to me.
Denver Broncos.
Well, no, but there was actually a huge
Yeah.
trade that we'll get to in a second
Yeah,
with the
it's a
Broncos.
huge trade.
Who won that trade, by the way? So Russell Wilson was traded to the Denver Broncos for Drew Lock, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. Who won that trade?
Honestly, I think the Broncos did, because
Yeah,
even though they
2-1.
do lose a lot of draft picks, they're going to be a better football team overall with Russell.
I think they.
And if you look at the quarterbacks, he's the best one that they could trade for. And what they got, they traded Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, and Drew Lock. So I do think they're going to be a good football team for at least 1 to 2 years.
And
From
Rams
that.
is still
They
young.
they did exactly what the Los Angeles Rams did, and they sold their future and put everything into now.
And I think the Rams have shown that's a viable strategy, and it works. But
Yeah.
the long-term effects still haven't been fully shown yet.
I mean, we don't know how long of an effect that's going to have on the Rams. I mean, the Rams, they won a Super Bowl, but they could be awful for the next 15 years.
And I think to them that's acceptable, because really
Yeah.
the Super Bowl is the one and only goal of every single football team every
Yep.
single year.
That is true, and they put themselves on the map. I mean, for quite some time, and I think they'll stay there. Do we want to move to some How football?
We do.
Okay, so a little bit has changed in how bright do you think the future is for How football?
Brad is bright as the sun right now.
Okay,
Ooh.
wow, that's pretty bright. So, are you excited about playing these different teams?
I'm very ecstatic. I'm looking forward to not having D1 athletes lined up in front of me every single week
Yes,
and having to tackle D1 running backs.
I am looking forward to watching you not have to try
Yeah.
to tackle D1 running backs.
And is
Oh,
all
yeah.
of this almost due to a lot of new and reoccurring coaches that are coming in?
Yeah. Well, the thing about coaches is that there's not a lot of coaches coming in as of right now. It looks to be that a lot of coaches are staying, just the head coach position changing, and that's also a huge deal.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable with the head coach, and what is most important to me is our chance to be better human beings. He's a coach that prioritizes being a good person over
Yeah.
anything, and that's kind of rare to find.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely rare to
But-
find.
One can almost know for sure that there will be quite a few coaching changes with a new AD coming in, because he'll bring a lot of his coaches from Sanger, and we've seen
Sure, yeah.
we've seen one already. But
Was that Bryant or whatever his name is?
Lance Bryan,
Lance Bryant?
he's the AD.
He's the idiot.
But
He's from Sanger.
one can assume he's going to bring some other coaches with him
For
that
sure.
he thinks will
Oh yeah. Well,
improve the
Howell also has one more coaching slot available, because we decided not to hire a coach for whatever reason. I don't
Okay.
really understand.
That sounds
How being
strange.
how.
So we can just get a free coach.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they knew what they were doing. You never know. So,
Benefit of
do we have anything? Do we have anything else?
what is your first game? All right, this is a long shot by a long
Okay,
way.
okay.
What is your prediction for the first game?
Oh goch.
Oh, I have no clue. I
Who
couldn't give you
does
a
Hal
straight
play
answer.
the first game?
Do you even know who you play?
White
Well,
Right?
Even if you
White,
are
right?
playing another, even
That's
if you
kinda
know-
weird.
Because it's a non-district game. so
That's
maybe
weird to
it's
think
White
he'll be
Right.
playing White.
I mean, I know you played Tom Bean early in the season.
It's
that's
White
weird
Right,
too.
Commerce, and I don't know.
It's gonna be scary.
But do you feel confident in going into your first game and being able to play the best you can and actually scoring a lot more points on the
Yeah.
board and winning?
No, I think last year their main problem, and they were scoring on these
Yeah,
really
we
good
scored a
football
lot
teams.
of points against
Yeah.
harder teams. Our problem was our defense.
It was Okay, it was tackling. The problem was there wasn't a lot of proper form tackling.
I saw that.
And there were a lot of broken. So when you had to face D1 running backs, it didn't end well at all. And we saw that. But, you know, look, we're glad they moved down. This is where they need to be. This is where y'all need to be, because
That's where we should have been.
It's where you should have been, right? And I mean,
something happened last year that they weren't like in the right.
They got moved down a district or a
district.
classification is what it's called.
We went up 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
because of miscounting or some other. I don't know. It's more complicated.
Yeah, but it was barely. They barely went up. And they were playing, and they were in the worst district to have to be in. They were so unfortunately unlucky.
Yeah.
And
it's the most competitive district in Texas 3A football, I believe.
I assume most of those teams went pretty far in the playoffs.
Mount Vernon went pretty far.
I think
Mount Vernon got to like the.
I think the semifinals.
Semis.
Yeah, I think they made it to the semifinals and lost by like a field goal.
Yeah.
So
Gunner? Oh no.
Well, now you gotta play. You gotta play.
Yeah, Gunner.
Gunner next year. That's gonna be. They're good, but the thing is, Gunner's smaller than all those other schools. They're well coached,
and they have very fortunate location where they're at. That's how they get so many good kids.
They do have a very fortunate location. Yeah. So, okay. I think that's gonna wrap up Sports Center. We appreciate our Cowboys insider coming on, Michael Rappaport.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, it's time for Top 10. Haven't done it in a while, but we'll do it right after this.
First Baptist Church of Howe services on Sunday morning is an awesome place to be, with Bible fellowships and a main service for everyone. The main service consists of worship by Art Rayburn and a sermon by Roger Tidwell. The fellowships begin at 9:15 for the adults, youth, and kids to enjoy the teachings of Christ Jesus, our Lord and Savior. The main service also starts at 10:30 after. During these uncertain times, the First Baptist Church of Howe has your back on 100 Davis Street in Howe, Texas.
You're listening to the Howepodcast 101. We give you a weekly look inside Howe and around Grayson County.
We have interviewed many guests, including Coach Simmons, Dan Thomas, and the voice of the Howe Bulldogs, Monty Walker.
Howepodcast 101. Keep up with Howe and laugh at the same time.
Welcome back to the Howepodcast 101. I am Jake Roberts, joined alongside
Lucas Mitchell. We're also joined alongside
Noah Riley.
And I think with all of that being said, we just got enough time for one more thing.
I forgot. There is one more thing.
Gentlemen, one more thing, guys. How are we feeling today?
I'm feeling right now.
Are we feeling... Well,
because
we just
filmed like a big segment.
Yeah, so
we've been one more thing combined, and audio was messed up again, and we have to just do the one more thing. So unfortunately, we don't have that one.
We did have a good top 5. We'll save it for next week. Noah, give us your one more thing real quick.
So my one more thing is that Texas Tech lost the Big 12 Conference Championship to Kansas, but they are in the NCAA tournament. I think they'll be around 3rd seed.
How many rounds do they go?
Definitely the Elite 8.
I give them Sweet 16.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see, because we are doing a bracket, so we'll see what happens. Lucas.
No, you go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are making a short film called Revenge is a Child's Game, set in the 1950s. Pretty star-studded cast.
Mm-hmm. I am the best actor ever as Don.
Okay, yeah, so Lucas plays Don. Clyde is played by Noah Riley.
Who's that?
Riley Noah.
Probably you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You play Clyde.
That's right, yeah.
And then Malin plays Marco.
Big bully.
The Kyrie Beast plays Larry. Parker plays Richie. And then yours truly plays the waiter. Because
he's
I
like
have
Alfred Hitchcock in all those movies.
Yeah,
he's going to be the co-director and the
cinematographer.
Cinnamon.
Yes. Okay. Give us your one more thing, Lucas.
One more thing is that I want Jake to show off just the mic because I made fun of it earlier. It's a little duct tape to the end. It's our boom mic we're gonna use for the film. Basically, We'll duct tape it better later. It fell off like completely earlier. But basically, it's going to do that. It's going to be out of the frame. It's going to be pretty cool. We have a gimbal set up, so the film will be amazing. And
It will be really cool.
especially my one more thing is going to be have a beautiful spring break.
Indeed. Yeah, we appreciate all of you listeners. And we want all of you to enjoy a wondrous spring break. Wondrous. So, that's going to do it for the podcast today. We appreciate every single one of you more than you know, because without you, none of this would happen, because if we had no viewers, why would we do a podcast? So, especially if you got to hear, comment down below. If you got to this part, comment down below, please. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it a million times more than you could ever know. From me, Jake Roberts.
And from me, Lucas Mitchell.
And from me, Noah Riley.
We're signing out for now.